Therapy, guys. Get yourself a go-kart if you can, something agile, something quick. Put on some music that gets to your soul, and you're good, Just need a couple minutes of that. Just a tip, You don't always need to go and see a therapist or go to the gym and fucking destroy yourself because you're angry, which is also good sometimes, but I'm just saying, it's one of these options that you have, right? And it's a good option if you have to take care of shit anyways and go somewhere and, run some errands or whatever. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is change. And I've noticed a pattern in these last couple of weeks because I talked to, some friends and some people that, I talked to in a deep sense and that also opened up to me. And, what I've seen is that there's a lot of change happening, right? Like, it's not just, on the external, right? Like what we see on the news and like all these new things popping up all of a sudden, which it's all old, but now it's becoming mainstream info. But we're in this transition phase from old to new, right? And of course it's gonna affect people personally, right? And like their whole viewpoint and how they operate in life and what they want to do on a daily basis and how they understand life and how how they want to show up on a daily basis, right? Like it's the same with me. I've done this 180 these last couple of years, not just these last couple of months, but like literally the last couple of years. I've changed everything, and everything that I'm doing is different, and how I behave and how I operate and how I think and how I feel and how I love. Everything changed, right? But like recently I've seen it with acquaintances, friends, and a lot of people that I work with and talk to, also on the podcast, right? Like there's so much change happening that people literally change their careers right now, right? And like it wouldn't have been possible just a couple years ago that if I would have said that to them, you won't be doing what you're doing at this moment, you will completely change your career and do this 180 in a short period of time, they would have said I'm nuts, right? But like it's happening, right? So, and it's not just happening inside of one niche, right? Like it's happening, let's say someone's been into medicine and now they're into I don't know, e-commerce or something, right? Or the other way around, right? Like it's literally switching niches and professions. And I embrace it. I'm all for it, and I think it's great because that means like you've let in that calling, that your soul needs something else, right? Like there's a higher frequency that you can be part of and that you can live up to if you embrace the change. And that's basically what this is all about, right? Like it's shedding the old and getting rid of that to make space for the new, right? And if you're operating out of truth, and if you're being authentic and listening in on what your subconscious is telling you, then it will propel you into a higher state of consciousness, right? Like it's not just making more money and whatnot, because that ultimately will also be part of it, right? Because if you are operating on a frequency that's closer to your heart and closer to your truth, you will automatically make more money, and you will live a more fulfilled life, and you will be happier, and you will attract the right people, and you will have more fun, right? So embrace if you feel that calling to change something, if you feel that you're not in the right spot, if you feel you're doing the wrong things on a daily basis, if you feel like you're talking to the wrong people on a daily basis, if you feel like something is suffocating you, calm down, meditate, think, understand what's coming up, listen in, right? Like listen, it's there. There's a voice, that's not really like hearable by your ears, right? Like it's not that kind of voice, but it's that intrinsic voice telling you which way to go. Listen in on it. That's just my 2 cents to this, because I've seen plenty of people do that, and it's the right choice, and it's also what I did. and I live by it, and I think it's also has, it's got to do with surrender, and getting out of that monkey brain state, and really listening in on your heart, and sometimes also what your gut is telling you. And you will ultimately live a better life if you do that. Forget about the monetary things. You can always make more money. You can always focus on that. It's not an issue, right? Like, money is everywhere. Money is ever present. We are in this time where money is just an exchange of energy. It's you don't have to trade your time for it. Get away from that thought that it's that thing that you trade your time for, and that it's the most important thing in your life, because it's not. Focus on what's really important. Focus on your family. Focus on your personal development, on yourself. Focus on your health, your sleep. All these basic pillars. If you don't focus on those, nothing else will work out. Nutrition, sleep, health, family, mind. All these things. Community, super important. If you fix those basics, if your rest is on an efficient kind of level, then your body can cleanse itself, right? Get all these toxins out of the way, of course. You have to detox. I talk about that all the time, but maybe I will do a short PDF guide for people that are interested in some basic detox that everyone can do. I talked about that before, because it's an individual setup, right? Like, everybody's different. Everybody's carrying around like different toxins, different heavy metals. With me, for example, it's mercury. I have a lot of mercury in my body still. So you have to do a different regimen for your personal case, but that's all. It's always good to work with a professional there, but there's some basic things that you can do to open up the pathways so the lymphatic system can do its job. It's not so much about the immune system, it's more about the lymphatic system. So, because that's a whole different story, right? Does that even viruses and lymphatic system and so on, are these stories true out there? I have to be careful here what I say. So yeah, I hope that helps. If you have any remarks to this, feel free to hit me up in the comments, and let's have a little conversation, or hit me up in the DMs, and I'm happy to hear your thoughts. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're embracing the change. I hope it's gonna bring you more joy. I hope it's gonna lift you up, lift you and your family up. I hope everybody's healthy out there, because there's a lot of detoxing going on at this moment, right? Like, also my family, my kids, they're sneezing and stuff. It's just normal, the body's detoxing. There's a lot of shit coming down from the skies and from the food. So it's crucial that the body is able to get rid of that. So just let it, give it the rest, give it the nutrients, and then you will be fine. Don't tell your kids they're sick or anything like that. We'll just make it worse. Just let them rest and let the body do its thing, and they're gonna be fine.